Hello, and we're back again, and we're going to do another versus video, and this one is going to be between the two top killers in the game, Spirit and Nurse. Now, caveat. Well, first let's look at what I've got. So I'm running top goes the Weasel. I'm running Stridor because Spirit needs to hear a lot. So that's useful for Spirit particularly, very good on Spirit. Stridor allows me to hear Grunts of Pain 50% louder. I'm running Save the Best for Last, so once I've got 8 stacks after hitting non-obsessions, my cooldown on my basic attack will be higher. Am I going to change that? Yes, I am. Apparently. And I'm running Barbecue and Chili for blood points and aura reading. Once I've hooked a survivor, any survivor outside of 40 meters will be revealed to me. I honestly can't remember what my add-on's going to do. I don't know why I've left this carry on for so long. But let's get in a game. So here I am playing the Spirit. Now, first off, caveat: I'm not good with either of these two killers. Playing on console, Nurse is harder on console anyway, and neither one of these killers, in my view, is particularly easy to use. I rely on being able to just see, to be fair, where people are. You do need to hear and listen as well, which is good. Oh man, they got that generator done quick, didn't they? So the way the Spirit works is she has her phase walk. You'll see that it says L2 phase walk. And when she goes into her phase, basically she completely vanishes, she disappears, you can't see her. She moves around the map normally. But as I say, you can't see where she goes. Having said that, the issue is she suffers with the same issue. Once I phase, which I'm probably going to do in a bit, they actually disappear as well. The survivors disappear as well. So I don't know, I can't see her. I can hear her, but I don't know precisely where she is. And I didn't actually find the one I thought was after. It was the Claudette I heard. So the fact that you can't see them, and you have to rely on being able to listen and hear where they are. For some people, myself included, that's kind of hard. I find that difficult, pinpointing their exact location. So we're back in another chase. I've got Pop Goes a Weasel, but I haven't used it. There's another Claudette here. So we'll give her a hit, but I think that was my obsession. And we mind game that pretty basic. But I'm barely using her power. But the issue, the difficulty, I mean the reason she's to the top tier is because basically her mind game potential is massive. Because survivors can't see her during their phase walk, it makes countering her with pallets and windows a mind game on both ends. Neither survivors nor the killer. Well, the killer has a far better idea if they're running stuff like Strider, but the survivors just don't know really what to do. And that's what hurts them. They don't know how to really counter or what their best options are. You ain't gonna make that. But that's not why I'm getting downs, because most of my downs, I'm playing the game fairly normally, which arguably I shouldn't be doing. Most of my downs have come from normal hits. I'm only phase walking to get a bit of distance and stuff like that. I shouldn't even be walking over there. Bit premature of me. The way I would play is I want to get him injured basically before I phase walk, which ain't working out too well. There you go. And I couldn't see him in the phase walk. It's all about what you can hear, and that's what I think makes it hard. It's obviously not impossible, but can be hard. But it was more of a mind game for him because he really didn't know where to go. Obviously, if he had got through that window, and it was a bit delayed when I came out, then he'd have been on the other side, and he'd have been safe, and I'd have probably I'd have mind gamed myself. But it's the fact that you don't know how to react to her, and she's not as oppressive as she used to be. Because you can actually travel right through survivors. Now I'm hoping to find the survivor who did that unhook, because they've got make your choice on them. This is a good survivor. She's not falling for the basic mind games. I'm not going to get make your choice on her. I've lost her. I don't think I'll get make your choice at all. So we've got phase walk over to the gen. I've only got three gens left. I only get 2 kills out of this game, but it's good enough to demonstrate spirit. That's nearly done. That's bad. Let's see if we can phase walk again. And she hasn't actually moved, but that's something, you know, that you can do. You haven't got to go anywhere. They just sometimes they'll think you're following them and you're not. Sometimes they'll think you're heading to a pallet and you get to a window. You get them on the window or something. She got the blind, but it don't really matter. Interestingly enough, on the video I saw where she was in the game. When I was playing it, I didn't. So I ain't even gonna spirit walk now. He's open. And now we've got to make a choice. The only bloody make a choice all game. So she's top tier. If you get good with that. The thing with a lot of the top tier killers is they have the highest skill caps, which means they're the hardest to use. And I think she's hard to use. I think you need a bit more awareness and to train yourself to use other skills. That went good. But there you go. That's Stridor for you. Grunts of Pain, 50% more louder. And there's my second kill during the end game. So what do I think of Spirit? I think she's a good killer. I don't main her. I kind of. I don't want to say I avoid her, but I feel that she's just a killer that is not always going to work for me. The Spirit Walk's good. You do go faster. But you know, sometimes you're going to mind game yourself as much as you're going to mind game the survivors. You have to look at the map, see if the grass is moving, stuff like that, and you have to train yourself to do that in a way that you don't normally with other killers. But in no way does that mean that she's bad. She's not bad. Far from bad. She is one of the best killers in the game. But easily, she's S rank. She's at the very top, right up there with Nurse. The question is, which is better, Spirit or Nurse? I don't know. I'm qualified to answer that question, but we'll move on. So, what am I running for Nurse? I'm running Lightborn because I've had a lot of people with flashlights and flashbangs and blast mines, flash mines on the generators. I'm tired of it. So I'm running Lightborn, which it basically protects me from blindness, and it also reveals auras for 6, 8 and 10 seconds. I'm running Tinkerer to get an idea of when gens are being done. At 70% the gem will explode and I'll become undetectable for about 10 seconds on that version. Sloppy Butcher to increase bleeding frequency with hemorrhage and Mangled effect. The Mangled effect makes it harder for you to heal. And a Nurse's Calling, which is going to reveal auras to me within a 20-meter range. And the fact that these are like rookie versions, tier 1 versions, says a lot about how much I put into the Nurse. I'm running Plaid Flannel, which gives me an icon to show where I'm going to blink to, because I'm not a great Nurse main at all. And Wooden Horse, which moderately decreases the cooldown from misblink attacks, and we're on Dead Dog Salute. So let's see how my Nurse game goes. So the Nurse she doesn't Spirit Walk, she blinks. Basically she teleports. There's 2 teleporting characters, Hag and Nurse. Some people would say Hag is like Perman's Nurse or easier to use Nurse, which is arguably true, but that's a blink, and that shows you exactly how I'm going to go. Now when she blinks, the reason Nurse is top tier, and she is because she doesn't care basically where you are. She doesn't care where you are. She doesn't care what you do. Nurse plays the game completely different to any other killer, and basically renders. That was lucky or unlucky. Glad I bought that Lightborn. Basically renders. Nurse basically renders the typical things that survivors have at their disposal to defend themselves. She renders a lot of it useless. That's what she does. Your main thing that you're going to do is put something between you and the killer, and you can't do that very well. The thing to remember when you've got a killer that just teleports through walls and through pallets and through windows, all those things then become pretty pointless. And you can see I overshot that one. how oppressive. And I'm not a good nurse at all. This was just a lucky game for me, at least lucky in the beginning. And yeah, I guess I really kind of worried them a bit. So she just, you know what I mean? She doesn't, like any other killer, I'd have had to have gone up the stairs. By the time I'd have climbed the stairs, they'd have gone, oh, there's a killer here, and they'd have jumped back down. Nurse doesn't worry about that. She just does not worry about it. She has been nerfed. She's not as oppressive as she used to be. She had her add-ons and stuff changed. There's someone using nurses. And they got the heal off just in time. Just in time. And nurses is such a good what's it for me here. Because for some reason these survivors just do not know how to deal with nurses calling, and it's not even the worst version of nurses calling neither. It's only tier 1. The nurses calling highlights your aura when you're healing, specifically when you're healing, and a lot of them do that this game. I was expecting somebody to go back. They don't. But the thing is, you've got 2 blinks, I should mention. If you look at the bottom left hand corner, you've got 2 blinks that you can use in succession, and they have to recharge. It doesn't take them long to recharge, really. But it can catch you out, because sometimes you'll need the 2 blinks and you'll only have 1 available to you. The other thing is, you'll notice then she went into a fatigue. You have a window of which to either to do your second blink, or do an attack, or do nothing. If you do a second blink, if you do an attack, you'll have more of a fatigue afterwards. She shouldn't have done that. A good joke. Not such a good juke. So he decided to climb the window, and I just said, right, okay, you got a window, I'm going to go underneath the floor. Ultimately, I've got to say, you know, in comparison to Spirit, even when I'm having a terrible day as nurse, and I sometimes do, there's no 2 ways about it. Oh, man. That really sucks. I hate it when they do that. I really do, when they just zigzag around everywhere. I really do hate that. Got myself stuck in a room. These are the problems that you can have with Nurse, and this is why I don't think she does as well on indoor maps. Now I'm missing more of my blinks here, which is so cool. I don't know what his play was. Going for blinds, but it ain't gonna work. Because I've got Lightborn. No mines though. But again, these lot are losing more to nurses than really me. Now I went to blink again there, but there you see I didn't have a second one ready. And my bar's filling up. And ears down. I've barely seen these mechs. I've barely seen them. Now, I've usually been running barbecue and chili, but I don't know that I think it's all that good on there. So I think this is better. Like trying to stay in a certain location rather than what's it. Now I've just saw the meg as soon as I bloody went up, and I blink back in time. She's duking me good here. I ran out of time before my blink was ready. I don't know how she made that distance. Did she 99 her sprint burst? She must have 99 the sprint burst or something. Ah! Unfortunate that I ended up behind there. But the other thing is, sometimes with a nurse, and this is where the played flannel can probably hurt you, it's much about predicting where you think they're going to be as about where they actually are. You have still got to allow for the time that you're going to travel. So necessarily landing right on top of them isn't the best thing to do. But I mean, I don't know why they've given up on gens, but clearly they have, because none are done. And fatigue can really hurt, to be fair. The fatigue can really hurt because nah, I ain't gonna commit to that because I've seen the distance. I ain't gonna get there anyway. I don't know where the bloody hell he even got over there. He's duking me well. He's doing a good job. How on earth did they end up on the other side of that? Calm down, John. Don't get desperate. Nurses again. Steve does pretty well. I think the Steve gets out. I think he gets the hatch. But that's something, I've got to say, that's something that's always bothered me. It might be biased as a killer main, I don't know. But look at that. 5 gens. Still on the map. And the hatch. Still gets out because of the hatch. I mean, my God, she just jumped. She just jumped between two buildings. Like, it says everything about her power, really. Again, I ain't gonna say that like she's great for everyone. She's hard to use because again, she doesn't operate like any other killer in the game. But if you do figure her out and you can use her, well then, I wonder if that was diversion he used there. If you do figure her out and you do get good with her, you'll be one of the most impressive killers in the game. No two ways about it. No two ways about it. But it's figuring her out. And you don't usually, again, this line that's going out in front of me, that's the plaid flannel add-on. You don't usually get that. You've got to kind of eyeball it and just get used to what you think the distance and stuff is going to be that you need. Everybody gets out. He obviously knew where the hatch was. I didn't know where the hatch was. Oh, and we got a daily ritual there. Right of the last breath. So that was with a nurse blink. 4 survivors to get a precise hit, which I did. And that was the best nurse game I had in a lot of nurse games. So there we have it. Spirit versus nurse. Phase walking versus blinks. I have to say, under my heart, I think nurse is better. Easily. Also, nurse is harder. Because she's slower. I think nurse is... nurse actually can't, like, a walking speed, her actual walking speed, she can never actually really catch up with survivors. She has to blink to catch up. And then obviously, so your first blink is to catch up, or your second blink is to see exactly where they are and try and land on them. But there we go anyway. Nurse versus Spirit. Both top tier killers. Both high skill cap killers. Which you get good results if you put the time in and you learn them and you master them. That wasn't a great game for a nurse really at all. Nurse's calling did a lot of work for me there. And good survivors wouldn't have allowed that because they'd never tried healing inside of a terror radius. I mean, if she blinks and now you're suddenly in a terror radius, well, there's not a lot you can do. But anyway, thank you for joining, and I'll speak to you all soon.